very note, Elon, there have been talks all week. We saw some of that heated rhetoric in Congress earlier today. Now these remarks by the president. Any progress?
Yeah, well, at least on the Senate side, we know that one of the negotiators, Republican Senator Susan Collins of Maine, has said that the group is making rapid progress and that they are moving toward what she called a common sense package. But we know that whatever is going to go into that package is going to have to be extremely narrow, certainly much more narrow than some of the measures that the president outlined just now. And that is because the top Republican in the Senate, Mitch McConnell, has said that he wants to focus on a compromise that is in keeping with the country's constitution and its culture. He refers to mental health. He refers to school safety. He does not refer to guns. And that's been frustrating for Democrats, especially over in the House, where they've held now 9.5 hours so far of debate in that hearing that you showed just a little bit earlier. They are pushing for a package of bills known as the Protecting Our Kids Act that includes a raise in the age required to purchase semi-automatic weapons from 18 to 21 that would ban those large capacity magazines and bump stocks, that would impose new rules for storing guns at home. That is supposed to get a vote in the House next week. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has also said that she wants to hold a hearing and potentially even a vote on renewing the ban on assault weapons. But right now, all of the action and all of that movement is coming from the Democratic side, and it's going to be incumbent on Republicans to join in with Democrats in the Senate in order to get anything passed. You heard the president say that it would be unconscionable for Republicans to block this bill from moving forward, Kelly. But, you know, Washington remains polarized over this issue, despite the passion that we heard from the president today.
Oh, yeah, the sands have shifted, though. I mean, people remember back after Sandy Hook in 2012, Democrats controlled the Senate then and didn't have all the votes to advance something like the assault weapons ban. So in this case, where are the numbers in the Senate, Elon? What's the latest sense for whether there is enough of a consensus to pass at least a couple facets of the legislation that you just mentioned?
Right. So in the Senate side, that's why they're zooming in on two pieces in particular. They're focusing on red flag laws and they're focusing on mental health. And they believe that if they can stick to that narrow path, they can get, or they're hopeful at least, that they can get the 10 Republicans who would need to come on board to pass a bill in the Senate. There's been talk amongst Democrats of maybe this is the moment to get rid of the filibuster. The problem with that, though, is that there are not enough Democrats on board with that idea. You still have folks like Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema who are against ending the filibuster. They believe that by forcing this bipartisan conversation, that is the way to ensure that laws stay in place and they don't sort of swing back and forth depending on partisan control of Congress. So their holdout against ending the filibuster is what is lending some of the catalyst and the impetus to the bipartisan talks. We'll find out in the next few weeks if it ends up going anywhere.
How does it also play in with the other issues Congress is grappling with ahead of the midterm elections that, at least the last polling I've seen, maybe you can bring us up to date, suggests it's going to be potentially steep losses for the Democrats?
Yeah, I think the jury is going to be out for Democrats whether fighting a culture war is going to be better or worse for them than fighting against the economy. What we see is that issues like gun control, issues like Roe versus Wade could potentially really galvanize the base of the Democratic Party, but it's also something that is incredibly polarizing and could potentially turn off swing voters. On the other hand, we see that the economy ranks at the top of the list of concerns for voters across the spectrum. And every time an independent or swing voter goes to the gas pump and they're paying more for the fuel in their car, they're paying more for the groceries that are in their cart, that is potentially a voter that Democrats could lose. So it's going to be very tricky for them to navigate appeasing the base on some of these more social issues, but at the same time sort of fighting that war against inflation and fighting the messaging on the economy. Right now, Democrats are casting about for some sort of umbrella message that can stick. They have not found it yet.
Yeah. Elon, thank you very much. Our Elon Moy.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.